Dun, dun, dun. Let's see if we get something here. Uh, Screen was Aquaseeking 4x4. Okay. Smart ass. Okay, let's see if y'all can see me. Okay, here comes my screen. Let's see if we get some 5x5s. Jacob, you won. Do you see me though? Is that the thing? Somebody else tell me you got 5x5s there. There we go. Lucky Dame says, okay, and simple one. Okay. First off, before I start, Rena LaRue says, is it okay to use cardboard boxes in the composter? Yes, cardboard boxes are a great brown, as long as it is the brown cardboard, not the stuff that's got pictures and colored ink and stuff like that. Don't use that. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Happy Saturday. So, a couple of things on my mind I will start with here. First off, I want to laugh about Google here. Apparently, they are having some serious issues with getting paid, which I kind of find humorous because they're having a hard time collecting from advertisers. But, gee, I guess that's what you get when you vote for a liberal who wants to shut down the country, and all the people that you ran ads for going into Christmas now go, we don't have any money, we can't pay you. So sorry, Google. Oops, you screwed up. That's what you get. You vote for it, you got to live with your decisions. Ooh, I'm sorry, all those billions of dollars that you donated to Joe, guess that did you real well. All right, so the other one that I want to talk about, and I know it's on everybody's mind because it comes up all over the place, is what's going on in Ukraine. And I'm going to give you my opinion, okay? And I'm going to say that in big capital letters, opinion, okay? You see all the stories about, the Russians are moving missile batteries into Belarus. Fine, that was a pre-planned military exercise, not a big deal. Okay. Oh, the NATO's sending all these troops, sending all these weapons, everything like that. And I want you to stop and think about something. First off, Putin ain't a dummy. All right. He's not going to go into Ukraine knowing that the whole world is against him on this. Okay. Maybe China's not. I don't know. China's kind of kept quiet on this whole thing. But this is why I keep saying this is all a massive bluff. And the media and everybody is playing into the leftist regimes, be it Great Britain, be it Germany, be it the United States, whatever it is. Because think about this for a second. For the last 20 years, we have been at war, if you want to call it that, in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And the defense contractors have been making money hand over fist. Okay. We need more tanks. We need more rifles. We need more planes. We need more this. We need more that. Yada, 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 yada. The government's just going, checkbook. Here we go. Okay, fine. We'll just write you more checks. And the defense contractors are just going, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Well, all of a sudden, the gravy train got shut off. And you know damn well that these defense contractors all went to the congressmen, the senators, both parties, okay, Biden, and said, you need to get us money again. We need to get this gravy train started again. So you need to start talking something up so the American public's okay with you spending tax dollars on more bullets, more mortars, more whatever. And so they create this facade, wag the dog, of Ukraine. Okay. Now, here's the first part. The second part I want y'all to answer. Unless you had family or friends in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in the last 20 years, how did it affect your life? Was there food in the grocery stores? Was there power coming through your outlets? Was there gasoline in the gas pumps? Whatever it would be. Sure, we can say a little bit of gas prices went up and down and everything like that. But for the most part, it didn't affect our lives at home, okay? We didn't have to grow victory gardens because there wasn't any food. There wasn't, you know, ration stamps being handed out to people. You didn't have to forego getting new tires on your car or anything like that. All the things that were done in World War II. Okay, we didn't have any of that. It was basically, if you never turned on the news in the last 20 years, you had no idea nothing was going on in the Middle East at all. It didn't affect us. Why? Because, of course, the war wasn't on our soil. And yes, we had many, many troops, and many of our tax dollars went over there. But like I said, how it affected you at your kitchen table, feeding your kids, eating dinner, it didn't. Okay. Now, I'll throw this one at you. And I noticed a few of you in here were talking about this today. I watched some of Constantine's video this afternoon. Okay. Letters to King, for you guys don't know, he's in Russia, everything. And did a video with a couple of other YouTubers there where they went to a Texas barbecue restaurant in Moscow. Okay. And the food actually looked really good. The cook was actually trained in Austin, Texas, so he knew what he was doing. Okay. But what I took away from that is there were people in the restaurant just going about a normal Saturday night, couple there on a date, whatever would be, the people sitting at the bar. Did that look like a country that was about ready to go to war? No. Okay. Those are the things that I look at. So this is all bluster and bullshit that's being told, and my guess is because the defense contractors are going, you either give us a bunch of money or we're not giving you a bunch of campaign contributions. Because remember what I told you. Washington, my opinion again, Washington does not give a shit about you or me. Their only concern is about getting reelected. Hence the reason I said the other day that, the southern border doesn't mean squat, inflation doesn't mean squat, gas prices don't mean squat, but God knows this Voting Rights Act means everything to them because that's how they keep a job. Okay, that's what's important to them, themselves, not you and me. Same thing going on with Ukraine. There's my thought for the night. So, all right, enough of that crap. Good evening to everybody. What do we got? 1,100 of you guys in here already, so nice to see we have a nice crowd here for a cold Saturday night across most of the country and probably across most of the world where people are watching this, because I don't think we have a whole lot of people from South America. David Williams, it might be warm down in Mexico, but you're probably one of the only ones. So, all right, but typical Saturday. This is all about you guys, Q&A, for you guys' chance to ask me questions, or if you've got questions for each other, this is a chance for all of us to get together and have a little bit of fellowship amongst the family, one-on-one, rather than in chats where somebody may never even see your question. Whatever, here at least you get a chance. Okay, so that being it. However, of course, as you guys all know, for those of you that are new, I've got the 5 people with their black hoods on, ready to pull the guillotine rope here. So the moderators in here are bar none the best on YouTube. So Jacob, Robert, Lorna, Lucky Dame, North Shore, thank you guys all again for being here again and keeping the crazies at bay. So I will say it like I say every time, if you want to be an ass in here, don't plan on making a second comment, because there's no 300-second timeouts around here. You're just tossed. All right. We keep it family friendly here. No insulting each other. Different opinions are fine. Rude is not. Okay. So we'll kind of leave it at that. As I say to everybody, keep it PG-13 in the comments. I try to keep it PG-13 coming out of the old pie hole. But like I said, everybody, your teenagers can be in the room. I wouldn't have your 6-year-old in here with some things I'll say sometimes. So that being said, please keep all the questions directed to me in uppercase letters. That's the only thing I'm looking for. If you put them in lowercase, I just skip right over that. So I'm not going to see those. If you're having conversations amongst yourselves, which I totally want you to do, please keep those in lowercase. That way I can keep moving and get as many people's questions answered as fast as I can. I don't skip over anybody unless you hit one of the YouTube topics that they don't like us to talk about, which are the 2020 election, climate change, or pretty much most anything dealing with the jab. Okay, so we're going to stay away from all that sort of stuff. Okay. Other than that, everything's fair game. Y'all know we've talked about some of the craziest stuff on here before, and that's fine. Sometimes a little bit of levity is nice, and it keeps my mind sharp because I've got to go from here to here to here to here. It's like ding ding. Talk about gardening, and then the next thing I know, it's about warships. It's like switch. So okay. So that being said, let's get into this here. I will start up as close to the top as I can get here and looking for all caps, and I've got to get up to the top here. So, all right. Mountaintop Prep says, how are you besides cold, and how is Mrs. P? We are doing quite well down at the bottom half of the mountain. Hope you guys are doing well at the top of the mountain. Mountaintop Preps, guys, is one of our local neighbors here, so if you will. So a lot of you guys met them if you were at the October meetup. Okay, let's see. Scrolling. Purring Lady, just like Stark Industries from Iron Man, weapon makers get rich from constant wars. Yeah, exactly what it is. Okay, that's it. They want more, and like I said, they need an excuse to be able to put it to the voting public, because the Democrats, have always been the doves, except they happen to be the hawks this time, which makes no sense. But of course, now they're the ones that want to go to war. But why do they want to go to war? Guaranteed, it's because they're getting their arm twisted, and they know that they're going to get shellacked here in November. So they want to pad their pockets as much as they can, as fast as they can, with money from anywhere they can get it. So they're going to raise the rhetoric. Okay, this is looking for caps here. Carla Palmer says the people it did affect was our military and their families. Of course, yes. Magic 999. Poop and Joe will get the USA in a war before the midterm elections to save his job by the election. Okay, yeah. He's sure as hell trying. Okay, his job isn't up for anything until 2024. However, like I said, my guess is shortly after the 2022 elections that he's tossed on his ass. Whether I'm right or wrong, who knows? That's just my guess. Okay, because when you've got an approval rating of 33%, and even the Democrats don't want you, and they're already a year into your presidency, already lining up people to run against you in your own party, that's not a good sign that they've got a whole lot of faith in keeping you around. Cindy McCourt, what is up with the bank buy-ins? Oh my God, this crap. Okay, unless you have $250,000 or more in a bank, do not worry about a bank buy-in. Okay, simple as that. You're covered by FDIC. If you've got more than $250,000 in a bank, then I'm going to ask you, why are you foolish? Get that money out of there and open up another bank account in a different bank. Okay. The bank buy-ins, in case you guys don't know, is where the bank can take your money and use it basically to pay off whatever they owe or anything like that, to keep them solvent. Problem is they can't do that with money that's FDIC insured. So unless you've got more than $250,000 in the bank, you're fine. Okay. Now, I saw somebody put up a video the other day about my bank's closed. What do I do? I didn't watch the video. I can tell you exactly what's going on, because the stories that are out there, the facts that are out there. Yes, some banks have closed because they don't have staff. They've closed some branches because people have Omicron or people are quitting. I mean, remember, guys, bank tellers make minimum wage, maybe a little bit better, not much. Okay. So, they're not, this isn't a job where people are going, woohoo, let me go get a job at a bank because I can make more working, flipping burgers at McDonald's. Not that I'd want to work at McDonald's if I had the choice, but, money talks and bullshit walks. So, as of this point, I would not be freaking out about the banks, and I wouldn't be worried about bank buy-ins whatsoever, because we aren't anywhere close to that. Though if you own crypto, I'm sorry for you. because you're getting your ass handed to you again. But that's it. Okay. Rock out, blackout, plant your victory garden today. Well, plan. Let's take the T off because it's a little early for anybody to plant unless you live like in southern Texas or southern Florida, maybe Arizona or something. It's still below freezing here in Tennessee for me. And I mean, hell, we don't even have to talk about South Carolina. They're chipping ice out. So, but yeah, I mean, planting them or getting ready, get your stuff. Like I said, if you need seed trays, if you need seeds, if you need fertilizer, whatever, if you haven't saved it, can't trade for it, need to buy it, whatever, can't create something for it, i.e. solo cups or something like that, get all your supplies ready. So when it comes time to plant, you're not going, oh crap, I got to go to the store with, 20,000 other people that have the same idea. Okay. Get it now while you can. Somebody had asked me in an email here before the show and said, I went to the store, they had no 10, 10, 10, but they had 888 and 1313. Can I mix those two together? Yes. And like she said, I'll give her 10 and a half, 10 and a half, 10 and a half. That's fine. Okay. You're still good on that. No big deal. Could use either one of them. It's not that much of a difference. Mix them together. You might as well. But, all the stories of all over the place about farmers not being able to get fertilizer. Trust me, guys, if the farmers can't get fertilizer, you sure as hell aren't. Okay. The farmer's getting first dibs. Rob asks, Pinball, what type of food do you think will run out first? Well, protein. Without a doubt, proteins are going to be first, and I'll give you a few reasons. Okay. Your meat products, and this is part of tomorrow morning's video, as is. Okay. What do you feed cows? What do you feed pigs? What do you feed chickens? Okay. Mostly vegetable products. Well, if you can't grow the grass, i.e. wintertime, you have to feed the cows, feed the pigs, feed the chickens with grain. Guess what we got a big shortage of? Grain. So now when you have a whole bunch of starving pigs and starving cows and starving chickens, there's your first problem. Then add in the swine fever, the mad cow, the bird flu, whatever, and everything else that's going on around there. Now you've got that. Then on top of that, add in Bill Gates and wanting everybody to eat bug burgers. Okay. The death knell is out there for your meats. And this is what and then let's add one more to it. Then how ridiculously expensive it's gotten to the point where only the rich are going to be able to afford meat. Okay. Again, we're going to go back to a feudalistic society. So yeah, what's going to disappear first? The proteins. Is it planned? Yeah, I'd say so, because what do you need to exert energy? You need proteins. If you have no proteins, you can't fight back. There's a bigger picture to this, guys. So yeah, the protein, the meats are going to be the first one to go. That's what somehow, some way you need to be stocking up on it. See it on sale, buy it, can it, freeze it, dehydrate it, whatever you can do to store as much protein as you can. I know there's some people that are vegetarians, and obviously you're going to be getting proteins from beans and stuff like that, but animal protein is going to be the first thing to go. Quentin Schacht, how many people have thought of growing grain crops such as dent corn, wheat, oats on a small scale for their chickens' livestock? Funny you say that. I will be putting an acre of dent corn and 4,000 feet of oats this year. Yeah, and it's funny you say that right after what I just said. That is a very good point, if you have that ability. Now, again, when you start thinking about the size of the operation you've got to have. Dent corn, okay, maybe not terribly bad, but how much does a cow eat? A lot. It's not like you get 2 ears of corn and you've got enough. I mean, you see those big grain silos at farms? Okay, herd of cows goes through that thing. So, keeping your oats, that's a lot of farming to do to feed the animals. But yeah, that's, you might be better off in some respects with grass-fed beef, okay, whatever you can feed that way. Your pigs, your chickens, they can eat a lot of the leftover vegetation from your plants. I mean, like sweet potatoes or something like that. When we're growing sweet potatoes, y'all know you get massive amounts of vines for that. Okay. Yes, you and I can eat the sweet potatoes. So can your livestock. So, if you've got livestock, start thinking quickly of alternate ways to feed your animals and start making preparations, because and again, this is going into tomorrow morning's video, but there are huge problems with feed right now, and that's going to affect us all in the availability and in the cost of meat. Excuse me. Darlene Carter, just in your own opinion, when do you think shit hits the fan? March of 2020. We're 2 years in. I tell you this, we're in the middle of it. It's just going to get worse. We've already started. Scarlet Brimstone, the Democratic Party operates on the 3 Ds: defer, deflect, and deny. Yeah, that'd be pretty much. You can throw the last one in there, dumb. Let's see. Francine Ryder, they just want to keep their pockets green. Exactly. I mean, I think it was Rudy over at Alaska Prepper that said in yesterday's video, maybe it was the day before or whatever it is, and it kind of goes right into what I was saying earlier. They're spending billions and billions of dollars in tax dollars to build bunkers and the stock bunkers and everything like that. Do you think they're sending you an invitation to come in? Nope. They're using your money to protect their ass. That's it. Okay. They'll be well taken care of in their luxury missile silo that's got, pools and gyms and everything like that in there, and, a bar that's, stocked for the next 20 years, whatever it would be. Well, you're out there going, please, sir, may I have some more? No. There's not a politician in the world who gives a shit about his people. Okay, they're all in it for themselves. Rob S. Pinball, what do you think of this police task force for voting matters? I haven't heard anything about it. What are they talking about? Having police standing at the polls or something? I mean, fine. That's it. How about, but again, let's do this. How about policing some of the laws that are on the books now before adding some more, no campaigning while people are waiting in line, within 500 feet of the polling place or whatever it would be. Let's start, rather than police it. What are the police going to be able to do? You're not Joe Smith. Yes, I am. Show me ID. I don't have to show you ID. I'm a cop. You have to show me ID. No, I don't. I'm at a polling place. I mean, what are the cops going to do? Can you imagine somebody get arrested at a polling place by a voting cop? Oh my God, the media would have they're stopping him from voting. They arrested him. Can you imagine that one? Okay. Elizabeth Nelson, do I do any winter sowing? No, the only thing that I have going during the winter is my garlic, and that's all in. I could probably do some root crops, maybe carrots, maybe beets or something like that. But I'm still in the process of trying to build the soil in my gardens. Again, because this will only be my 3rd season gardening here, and I'm starting from good old Tennessee rocks and clay. And it's an awful lot of manure and compost and everything I need to fill mine. So I am still in the process of doing that. And you'll see when we get out in the springtime, my gardens still aren't full with soil and everything like that. I still need to build it up here. So, again, like I've said many, 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 many times, there's a lot more to gardening than putting a seed in the ground. You got to build that soil first. Building's only as good as its foundation. I'm still working on that part. I can grow in it, but I'm not ready to blow up in it, if you will. Maxwell Smart. All right, Agent 86. Your thoughts on the possible Burlington Northern Santa Fe strike and the impact on the supply chain? I talked about this about a week or so ago, about these guys going on strike. And I mean, as most of you guys know, if you saw the video today was the day that the U.S. blockade, if you will, on the Canadian and Mexican border went into play for the truckers. Well, now if you get the railways go on strike, I mean, Santa Fe out west is trying to divert themselves from Los Angeles because they're getting robbed left and right. It's not going to be too long till those guys go, to hell with this. My life's in danger. I'm not doing this. You start taking out all the transportation, no trucks. Okay. Like I said, 12,000 truckers from Canada can't come in the United States. What was it? 63.7% of Mexico or whatever is vaccinated. So if you say the same thing, that's what, 36.3% on average of truckers. Okay. There's 1/3 of them can't come in. We start losing a lot of stuff. We're going to see huge problems. And if you take trains out, you got even more problems. Now, on the other side, the trucks are the bigger issue because I've never seen a train pull up at the back of my grocery store. It's still got to, after it gets somewhere on the train, it's still got to get trucked there. So either way, what kind of problem do we have with the trains, even if they are running, if the trucks aren't? Now you got trains backed up, nowhere to unload anything. Okay. We'll put it all in the warehouse until the warehouse gets full because no trucks are moving, and then whatever problems. I mean, this is all snowballing, guys. No fertilizer means no food. No food means no need for trains. No trucks means no need for trains. It's just over and over and over and over again. And this is why you, me, and anybody else who actually preps is going to come out of this, at least in one piece. We're not going to be the ones walking up and down the street like freaking zombies going, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Okay. We're going to be more on the defensive going, get out of my, stay off my grass, kid. So, Jennifer Jones, what are my thoughts on satellite phones? Well, I'm not going to tell you yes. I'm not going to tell you no. The problem with the satellite phone is this. If we have an EMP, if it's a low-level satellite, the EMP is going to knock out the satellite too. Because remember where an EMP goes off. It's about 20, 30,000 feet above ground. Okay. It's going to take out the satellite. So that kills your satellite phone. The other thing is, a sat phone will cost you $100 a month or whatever it is, because it's a subscription service. So, do you want to spend $100 a month for something that you're paying by the second to use? They're not cheap. So, and again, the question I would have is, what is the purpose of the sat phone? Chances are it's because, you've got family that lives 2 states away and you want to be able to connect with them. Well, that's a big if the satellite's still working. Now it means you got to have 2 phones, one to call the other one. So now you're talking $2,400 a year to probably talk to somebody on that phone once or twice. Are you okay? Are you headed this way? Yes. That's it. Okay. I'd say in that case, ham radio would be a little bit more useful. My opinion. Cindy, I've answered the question on bank buy-ins already, so you can stop asking it over and over and over again. Montana Living, Pinball, tell us what a hipster is. Okay, it is, let's see, a latte drinking, skinny jean wearing, man bun sporting metrosexual. There you go. Southern Magnolia. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. P from Oklahoma. From Oklahoma. Hello. Curb Creeper, do you think ration books will come back if supplies get even worse? Yes. Okay. And if you look at what Muriel Bowser put out in a tweet, Muriel Bowser's the mayor of Washington, D.C. today. She put out a tweet saying, something along the lines of, yes, we understand that stores are short. Please only go to the store and buy what you need and leave something for somebody else. So now you have a politician telling people to self-limit to what they're buying from the store. Okay. I'm not going to make it as big of a deal as some of these fear porn channels are, but for the mayor to come out and say, don't buy everything in the store, tells you there's something up, that she knows that there's not much more coming or something. So, but yeah, yes, I think ration books would come back. And if they do, guys, I will tell you this: if you get a ration book, make sure even if you've got 5 years worth of food in your house, make sure you use all that stuff in your ration book. You go get your pound of rice, your stick of butter, whatever the hell it would be, because you do not want to be the person where your neighbors start going, why isn't Mary going to pick up butter every Tuesday? Gray man. Mark Perot, what are some of the going prices for my top 4 seeds? I think that's what it said. It kind of got in the way there, the little blue arrow. So because you were all the way at the bottom, and I got to go back up. A few of you guys have said the dollar stores have them for 25 or 4 packs for $1. If you can get them, get them. Okay. And guys, I'll say this: buy a bunch. Okay. Save them for next year. I mean, I've got seeds that are a couple of years old that I still try. If they don't grow, they don't grow. I told you how to do the test. Put them on a wet paper towel, put them in a plastic bag for a few days and see if they germinate. However, some take longer, some take less, but see if they germinate. If they do, then plant the germinated seed and you're all set and going. If they don't, fine, throw the packet out. If you lose a freaking quarter, you lost a quarter. Okay. If you're going to go buy a pack of green beans and a pack of peas for this spring, buy 3. Okay. Put the other 2 in a dark drawer somewhere. Some of you guys like to freeze them. Okay. Put it in a dark drawer. You're good. Next year, try them. Okay. And go from there, because next year you might not be able to get seeds. Obviously I would suggest everybody save seeds, but there's some things you can't save seeds for, really. Like I said, some things you're growing hybrids. The corn I grow, the sweet corn, is a hybrid. Okay. So I have to have fresh seeds every year. I can't save from it. Lots of different things. I mean, remember what hybrid seeds are, guys. I say this, and please, somebody's going to disagree with me, and that's fine. Okay. If you are brand new to gardening and you've got 1,000,001 questions, start with hybrids. And I know everybody's going to go, no, you need to grow heirlooms and everything like this. Okay. Here's the point. You need to grow heirlooms because you can save the seed and get the same tomato, the same pepper, whatever it would be next year. Okay. Hybrids are a cross of at least 2 different things. So if you plant the seeds from what you harvest this year, you're going to get the mother parent, the father parent, whatever. Okay. But here's the reason I say start with hybrids while you're learning, is because hybrids have been bred for disease resistance, pest resistance, stuff like that. If you go in and start without knowing what diatomaceous earth is, without knowing what neem oil is, without knowing what, how to get rid of aphids or how to get rid of squash bugs or something like that, plant the hybrids while you're learning, but buy some of the heirlooms and maybe use those for next year, because you got to figure out what's going on in your yard first. If you plant heirlooms and you have a massive aphid problem, you're not getting any tomatoes. Okay, so you're toast. Plant the hybrids, maybe they're resistant to aphids. I'm just using this as an example. That way you can get tomatoes and you can learn, how do I combat aphids if I get them? Because maybe on another plant you get aphids. Now you know you got aphids. Okay, now I need to know how to use neem oil. Now I need to know how to use soapy water, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what, there is a place for hybrids, guys. And I will say this again, you can save seeds from hybrids, then it turns into a game. You don't know what you're going to get next year. You'll still get tomatoes. You're not going to get green peppers from tomato seeds. You just may not get the same stuff. Brandy, thank you for the super chat. So 100 monkeys going to a lab, one's missing in a Pennsylvania car accident. I saw this on the news. I guess this happened yesterday. Hong Kong, 2,000 hamsters dead because of an Omicron scare. CDC now changing the vaccine up-to-date wording. Yeah. Isn't it interesting how all this crazy, monkeys that are being shipped to a medical lab, and we have one that got loose. That's what were they working on? Flint McRock, where can I get good information on the dehydration of meats? Look at the specific dehydrator that you have. If you've bought a dehydrator, go online if it's an Oster or whatever, and look, how to prepare venison, how to prepare beef jerky, whatever it is, because every dehydrator is going to be different, depending on how many racks it's got, how it works, the wattage, the voltage, whatever would be. So find your dehydrator and then use the specific instructions for that one, because it's not going to be generic across the board. Purring lady, President Joey, angry outbursts in the press are a major sign of dementia. They get frustrated easily and cannot control their emotions. Yeah, it's blatantly obvious that Joe is not all there, okay? And he's slipping day by day, But then again, what was it, earlier this week, I think it was, he referred to the cackling hen as President Harris. Then, of course, you had Jen Psaki, who came out yesterday and said, I really enjoy working for President Obama. So hell, they don't even know, who's in what position in Washington right now. So, it gives me a whole lot of confidence in our political leadership right now, where, they don't even know who the boss is. But notice how it's everybody but Joe. It's, President Harris, it's President Obama, what's next? President Mouse. Hey, Mickey, how you doing? But yeah. South Colorado Stetter says, I pasture feed most of my animals. Around here, I see it too. Most of them are out eating grass, a lot of hay stuff. But again, if you're being in Colorado, you get a bunch of snow, there's no grass to go for. So you've got to come up with feed somehow and, making sure the cows are eating. So, Curb Creeper, do I think we'll go back to ration cards if supplies get even worse? Yeah, I do think we're going to, I won't say this year, but I can see that coming in the future, where what we'll see first is all the limit ones in the store. You see, it's like we saw a little bit of last year, I remember going to the store and buying ground beef and it said limit 2, and that's great. You buy 2, you go put it in the car, you come back inside, you buy 2 more, or Mrs. P and I buy 2 and she buys 2. Okay. Once that starts playing its way out and everybody goes, okay, this isn't solving anything, then we're going to wind up ration cards. Now, where this gets scary, think about it. When we had ration cards in World War II, you got little paper cards. You cut the coupon, if you will, and gave it to the cashier. That was 1940. There wasn't cell phones. There wasn't internet. How do you think you're going to get ration cards this time? You're going to get a UPC code, your social credit score. Ration cards, CBDC. Okay, that's how that's coming, guys. Just be ready for that one. It's all going to be digital. And then you're going to have to hope that the cashier at the grocery store, the register works to read the barcode or whatever would be, because, it'll be a complete fustercluck. We know that. But that's how it's going to happen. And then, of course, what does that mean? Gee, Mr. Pinball, we know how many pounds of butter you bought this week. Yep. Missy Stevens said, I hear about the monkeys escaping. Yeah, we just talked about that. Jim Rupp, last comment got numbered. Did I see it? I don't know what numbered means, and that's the first time I've seen your name come across, so no, I did not. Something Lore Olympus, how is your Knoxville in your area to live in Tennessee? Knoxville's like any other city. It's pretty blue. It's not as blue as most, but it's still blue. Okay, Knox County's red. Knox City of Knoxville's blue. But again, like a lot of places, especially down south, the surrounding counties are pretty solid red. Okay, Atlanta's solid blue. The collar counties are red. You look anywhere. Your urban areas are almost always highly Democrat, but down south it's red. I like it out here. Is it for everybody? No. Again, I'm a half an hour from the grocery store. I'm 20 minutes from the nearest gas station. I'm a half an hour from the hospital. I'm an hour and 20 minutes from an airport. If I want to go to Home Depot, that's an hour away. So yeah, there's some people, my doctor is an hour and a half away. Mrs. P's doctor is a half an hour away. That doesn't work for everybody. So do I like the peace and quiet for the most part that I have around here? Yes. Are there still stupid things? I told you guys all the problems I was having with FedEx. Okay. Yeah. There's no pizza delivery out here. Uber's not coming. There is no cab system. There's no public transportation. Uh, you know, that's, you're on your own when you're out in the country. Okay. The only things that will come out here are basically the mail. That's it. Even if I call the fire department, they'll be here in about 25 minutes. Okay. So, I love it out here, but I'm telling everybody, it's not like, gee, I can go do that. You got to have a very specific mindset to live out in the sticks. Deborah Hardesty, our horse and chicken feed are $3 and $5 more each bag so far. Yeah, exactly. And it's not getting any better. Thought horses were expensive to keep before. Wait. I'm waiting for the manure I get to go even get more expensive, because now horse shit's going to be more expensive because it costs them more for the food. Jamie Lee, where can I or who can I watch to learn how to can meat? I will say this, I've said it many times. Lisa, her channel is Sutton's Days, SUTTONSDAZE. Lisa is the canning queen on YouTube. Okay. So that would be where I would start. Carol Lewis, pinball, what or where is the best way to buy silver or gold? I've done a video on this too. If you want to look the video up, it's how to buy silver as a prepper, but start at a website. It's comparesilverprices.com. That will give you the top 7, top 8 bullion dealers and all the different prices of because price of silver and gold is moving constantly. Okay, it's traded. But you can look, because 2 different dealers may have the exact same thing at 2 different prices. I mean, I've seen them, up to $1 an ounce difference. Okay, so that way you can do a little bit of comparison shopping and then go through on each one of the respective bullion dealers' websites, which you can link right to it. At least JM Bullion, I know, gives a military discount. So, compare prices all the way across, but start at compare silver prices, or if you're looking to buy gold, compare goldprices.com. Either way. DFreak01, facial recognition for IRS and taxes. Yeah, I saw that the other day. I can't remember the name of the I think it was ID Me. Is that what it's called? The IRS is now going to implement that. If you want to access your old tax returns or something like that, you have to go through their online system and have facial recognition to get your old tax returns. Okay. And I know people say, why would I need my old tax returns? Well, I had to get copies of them and stuff like that when Mrs. P was coming to the States, because I had to prove God knows how many years worth of income and all this sort of stuff. So I had to get them. But yeah, this whole ID Me thing was such a disaster with people trying to file for unemployment. And now they're going to have the IRS do it. Like, the IRS isn't completely incompetent enough. They're going to now add some computer system that is already proven to be a failure, and they're going to run that into the IRS. There you go. That's your government at work. If it's broke, break it more. Brett Courtright, location of starter spreadsheet of food for beginning prepper, family of 5 and a dog. There really isn't one. okay? Because everybody's different. So this would be my suggestion. Sit down with the family and plan a menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 7 days. Okay. We're going to have frosted flakes on Monday. We're going to have scrambled eggs on Tuesday. We're going to have French toast on Wednesday, whatever it is. For lunch, we're going to have raviolios. Then we're going to have SpaghettiOs. Then we're going to have tomato soup, whatever. And for dinner, we're going to have hamburgers. We're going to have spaghetti. We're going to have chicken noodle soup, whatever it would be. Plan out that menu for 7 days. Then multiply it by 52, all the ingredients to make each one of them, and there's your plan. Okay. If you need to have 2 gallons of chicken noodle soup, you need to have whatever it takes to make 2 gallons of chicken noodle soup, all the ingredients, 52 times over. And that's how much chicken noodle soup you need. That's to have one dinner, 1 day a week for 1 year for your family. So you're going to need to figure out what you eat because, my menu is going to be very different than your menu. Then you're going to start figuring out things like, oh, what do we grow? Okay, how can we make that most of our meal? Instead of having chicken noodle soup, do we have vegetable soup? Because we grow all the vegetables. We can 52 jars. Well, with a family of 5, you're going to need more. But how much, you can let's say 156 jars. Let's say it takes, a quart and a half or 3 quarts of soup to feed everybody for the family. So you start looking at that, and believe me, it adds up quick. You go, holy crap! I need 156 cans of vegetable soup to have one meal, 1 day per week for 1 year. Yeah, 156 cans of vegetable soup for your family. Don't let it be overwhelming. Start with simple recipes. You're not going to go, well, you know what? We want chicken cordon bleu on this day, and we're going to have lobster tails on this day. No, you know what you're going? You go, okay, we're going to have a pot of chili. We're going to have macaroni and cheese and hamburger. We're going to have vegetable soup, whatever it be. Again, you're not going to be eating gourmet meals. Go back, watch some videos on what they ate in the Depression. God, I can't remember her name. Maybe somebody in here remembers. There was an old lady who grew up. She's got YouTube videos all over the place. She died a few years ago, but she did a whole bunch of videos on Depression cooking and showing you how to make all the meals that they made. I cannot remember her name. If somebody remembers it, please put it in the comments. But do a YouTube search for Depression cooking. It'll give you some ideas for some simple meals. Clara, there you go. Becky said it. I don't remember what the name of the Depression cooking with Clara. Thank you, Dottie. Okay, yeah, look up that channel. That'll open your eyes. Something Laura Olympus. Our state wants to give back $175 or $350 refund because of record money coming to the state. Okay. Yeah, rather have them give it back to you than say, well, gee, you know what? We'll give it to California. Carrot Top, 6-pack of canned chicken at Costco in our Colorado store went from $9.99 to $17.49. Yeah, there you go, guys. That's what, about a 75% increase, 80% increase in price. Congratulations. You didn't go shopping last week. You go this week, you can buy about half of what you could have last week. Wait till a month from now when you're saying it went from $17.49 to $24.99, because that's what's coming next. We're not plateauing. This transitory inflation was bullshit. We all called that at the beginning, and the Fed finally realized, gee, you know what? They were right. GG, do I think there is even a chance to stop any of this SHTF with the midterm elections? Some of it. Hopefully, see, and again, remember, a lot of it's federal, because a lot of the stuff that's happening is statewide too. So, your state elections are just as important as your federal, okay? Just because we're not voting for president this time doesn't mean you don't go to the polls, because you're still voting for your representative. You might be voting for one or both of your senators potentially. You're certainly voting for people that are sitting in your state houses, and maybe even voting for your governor, your mayor, or whatever it would be. Okay. Now think of Florida, for example. Biden wants to do all these mandates every which way but loose. DeSantis said, nah. Okay. Is it important to vote for the governor too? Yeah, because if you have some governor like Kathy Hochul in New York who goes, nope, whatever Biden says, that's it. Okay. Broom her. Okay. The stuff with like Ukraine, that probably doesn't get silenced because too many of the politicians, both sides again, have their palm out, going, "Oh, you're gonna cut me a check for $100,000 for my reelection campaign if I get us into a war." Hey, cool, okay, I'm there. But some things may change. How much? Are we going to start building the wall on the southern border? No. Okay, because Biden will go veto. Doesn't matter if Congress was 100 senators and 435 congressmen were all GOP, and every one of them said, well, I guess it would, because then they can override the veto. But some of it's just not going to change. We've still got 3 more years of communists sitting in the fake White House. Daddy SD Bullion's a great company to buy gold and silver, located in Michigan. Yeah, I'd say lately, everything I've bought, I'd say probably for the last 4 or 5 months, everything I've bought has been from SD Bullion because they've had the best prices. And I always get a kick out of how they box it. It's like, they put was it like a plant company or something like that on the box? So, nobody knows what's in the box. Very stealthy how it goes through the mail. Carpooling with K. What's a good quality brand for seeds? Tomato seeds, cucumber seeds, green zucchini. There's a bunch, okay? And again, don't poo-poo the dollar store seeds or anything like that. I mean, seeds are seeds. Remember, it's just like anything else. Some could be a little bit higher quality, but they're, at the end of the day, they're still seeds. How they were processed is it. But I mean, M.I. Gardner's got good seeds. Haas Tools has got good seeds. But here's the catch. M.I. Gardner, is in Michigan. Haas Tools is in Georgia. Well, if you live in Alabama, buying seeds that are coming from Michigan, probably not the greatest idea. Or you live in Wisconsin, buying seeds from Georgia, probably not the greatest idea. So you want to have something that is relatively local to your area, or at least your climate. Baker Creek is good. Burpee is good. But, don't poo-poo anything, okay? Going out and spending $4.99 a pack for a pack of cucumber seeds when you can go to the dollar store and buy them for 25 cents. I'd buy the 25-cent ones first, see if you can get them to sprout. If you get them to sprout, great. Now, if you want to grow something funky, Armenian cucumbers or something like that, you're not going to find those at the dollar store. But if you're looking for your basics, just a red tomato, cucumbers, green zucchini, I'd go to the dollar store. Spend 75 cents, buy a couple packs of them, but go that way. Or go to Walmart and buy, they've got a couple of brands there or whatever it is. Buy the ones that are 99 cents or $1.49 or whatever. Don't spend the crazy ones, Or if you know somebody who saves seeds, ask them if they've got some. Believe me, I've got, and you guys have sent me more, I've got boatloads of extra seeds. I could plant a farm with all the seeds I have. And actually, because Voodoo Queen was talking to me today, we're going to try something here. Somebody had contacted her who's got a boatload of extra seeds, and we're going to try to put something together where maybe the people that weren't on the boxes, because we think the boxes got stolen or somehow, see if we can kind of get some seeds to some people. We're working on trying to figure that one out, so you guys got some stuff to plant. I saw somebody real quick said, who was the silver and gold price? Compare silverprices.com. Yeah, there you go. Mount Mance's Walmart sells Ferry Morris. And they sell Burpee too, I believe. There's a couple of different brands. They're fine. I mean, my marigolds that I'm growing right now are Ferry Morris. So again, everybody says, "Why am I growing marigolds?" Put marigolds around your garden, guys. Keeps the critters out. They don't like the smell. Jim Rupp, they're pushing currency change to electric in Iowa. Yeah, I see articles. I actually did a survey or something on the Fed yesterday, the Treasury, about, what do you think about going to a central bank digital currency? I'm like, okay, I answered all the questions. I'm like, you're absolutely high if you think this will work. I mean, I gave them long answers on each one of them. I think it was Rudy that had the link up to that one, Alaska Prepper. Practical Foodie, what do you think about pressure canning on an electric glass top stove, Presto canner? That's fine. I mean, as long as you can get the temperature up, you're fine. I mean, whether it's electric, whether it's glass top, whether it's gas, no big deal. I mean, you're still doing the same thing. You're going to heat it up, pressurize the canister, wait your 10 minutes for everything to do it, and then run your 15 minutes, 75 minutes, 90 minutes, depending on what you're canning or whatever, and go. Yeah, no big deal. Paul Garecki trains, Warren Buffett gets richer. Yeah. South Colorado Stetter, train robberies going on, not just California, other states now. Of course, guys, when you defund the police, when you when you make, when you say anything under $1,000 isn't going to be prosecuted, you're just opening the door to theft. Why not walk? If you're in California, why not walk into the grocery store and get a cart full of groceries and walk out the front door without paying for it? They're not going to stop you. So, I mean, it's stupidity, and the rest of us wind up paying for it. But again, politicians aren't smart enough to think past here. I've said that a million times. Northern Hillbilly, my motto is bullets, beans, and bullion. Yep, and bandages. Holy crap, it's 4 minutes to 10. Jim Rupp, I'm concerned government money only with the internet. I don't understand the context. Patty Bob says, good evening from Germany. That probably tells you how far back I am because I'm saying hello to somebody at the end of the live stream. God. So, yeah, we got 1,800 people in here. Let's see. Scarlet Brimstone, dang, you were nice describing what a hipster is. I try to keep it PG-13. Okay, let's see. Scroll to the bottom. I'm trying, guys. I apologize for not being able to get through everybody. Marvin Wiseman says, the joy of cooking is good. God, I remember my mother had that cookbook. It even tells you how to skin a rabbit. Yeah, if you find some of the old cookbooks, guys, and go back to, the 40s, the 50s, stuff like that, they'll have recipes in there for how to skin a rabbit, how to make oxtail soup, stuff like that, how to make pickled pig's feet, how to make tripe soup, stuff that we don't really eat anymore, but you may again. So, I found Waldo. I found an old recipe on how to cook a bear. There you go. Reminds me of I think it was the second book in the 1 Second After chapter. So the 1 year after book where somebody got a bear and they were all eating bear. Dana Nepsa, make sure you can meat stock for noodles or rice to save your water for drinking. Yeah, or as another one, stock up on bouillon cubes. Okay. Takes up a lot less space, and you can always make your beef bouillon that way. Awesome Sauce 753, make your own moonshine. If you know how, yeah. I make my own wine. I make my own Applejack. I make my own beer. So, yeah, I don't have a still, so I don't make my own moonshine. But, the rest of the stuff I've got covered. And, I mean, even if you don't drink it, guys, it's going to be good for barter. Terry Bizzle, do I think the Fed screwed up banning Huawei since they've already developed sophisticated surveillance equipment and social scoring systems? No, I still think keeping Huawei out. But again, I'm going to give you this: keeping the Chinese out of Western culture in any way possible is a good idea. Okay, I mean, anything that comes from China, with the exception of the Chinese people. I mean, the Chinese people that come over are good people, as long as they want to assimilate into the United States, like anywhere else. Learn English and that sort of stuff. Allegiance to our flag. But as for anything made in China, at any chance I get, I will buy made in America. I don't care if it costs twice as much. I don't want the made in China crap. All right, one more, and we'll call it a night. If I can find one more. What a question here. A couple of you guys talking about where you're buying seeds, Baker Creek, yeah, Hopeful Homestead, I said compare silver prices. Okay, last one. South Colorado Stetter. Do I use a fruit steamer to make your own wine from your fruit? Well, everything I've made is from bottled grape juice, bottled apple juice, bottled. What did I do? I did cranberry. I did peach. All that. I've done it from bottled juices. My trees are not big enough yet to bear fruit. We got 2 plums, 2 peaches last year. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more, but now I've got the grapevines, which will probably get planted tomorrow. The muscadines, they finally came, guys. It only took 9 days for FedEx to get them here, overnight delivery. But that's okay. The package I sent to Constantine that I paid for International Express priority, 7 to 10 day business day delivery, took 6 weeks. So yeah, that was a waste of money. But so yeah, I can't tell you about that, but I don't think I will need to use a steamer, just a fruit press to get the juice and then make it from there. So, all right. North Shore, are you back on YouTube? Are you going on this evening, or no? He's still on a break until his medical and pain issues are sorted. Okay, so yes, totally understand that. North, get better. We're all praying for you. But guys, thank everybody for coming on by. Have a nice Saturday. We'll see y'all in the morning. Pinball out.